Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. My name is Lillian with Stampers Niche, and I'm coming to you from sunny Alberta, Canada. It was a crisp day, but it was a beautiful Alberta sky today. It was blue sky, not as cold as it's been the last few days. We were able to go for a walk, and it was all good. So welcome. I hope that you are not feeling too frazzled during the Christmas season. It always seems to be a little bit of a panic mode, and then all of a sudden it kind of chills out a little bit. For some reason, I'm feeling like I'm kind of on top of things this year, which is always scary. I'm wondering what I've forgotten, but I think we're getting there. We're just about ready. Made ginger snaps this morning and have a bit more baking to do, but that's all good. And our daughter does some too, and then we share, we trade back and forth, so that makes it easier. So are you doing Christmas baking? Our granddaughter, I laughed, she was looking at some ads on the computer and on TV, and she said, all the ads are about food and all this delicious looking food, and it just makes me hungry. And that's sort of what I was thinking too. But there are other things to do other than cook, right? And that kind of thing. So we can do a little crafting, and hopefully you have time to fit some crafting into your busy schedule. If not, just hope if you're watching this, whether you're watching it on in real time or watching it in the replay, I hope you're taking a moment just to relax. Catherine, you made ginger snaps too. It must have been a ginger snap day. The house sure smelled good. My husband walked in and said, oh, it smells good in here. I don't bake very often anymore, so that's a good thing that I can still remember how I was thinking that. So just a quick heads up. Paper pumpkin. You can get the prepaid paper pumpkin until tomorrow at a really reduced rate. So let me go down to the desktop and let's just take a look at how you go about doing that. I just did that today. Whoops. For some reason it all jammed up on me again. Someday I'll learn how to do this more smoothly, but we will make it work, right? There we go. So here is what you do. You go to my paper pumpkin link. This is for me, or you can scan this. And when you get there, you will see something like this, minus the arrow. I want you to scroll down to where it says prepay. This is where the big savings is right now. You can do a 3-month subscription, a 6-month, or a 12-month. And for example, the 3-month subscription is normally $110.25. And right now we get it for, I don't know where I put the reduced one, but you get it for a greatly reduced amount. So I think you save like $20 or something like that. So do take a look at that and make sure that you check that out. So that is Paper Pumpkin. And if you had noticed or have noticed that I shared my downline, my stamping team, we got together and we did shoebox swaps. And basically that's sort of like a kit. And the joy of that was no one had to do any prep work. The prep was all done for you. And they just opened it up. So our kits and our paper pumpkin kits and our regular kits are like that too. Everything's ready for you, the instructions, everything. You just have to open it up and do it. You can adjust it and switch it up if you want. I tend to like to just do it because then it's just totally relaxing for me. So if that is something that's interesting for you, is just to have a relaxed time of crafting with other people. Once a month, I'm holding a kit together time. So there'll be an evening session on January. It was where the link is. I think it's the 7th and then the afternoon on the 8th, or as close to those dates. The first Wednesday and Thursday in January, I'm having the kit together again, but that means you either have to order a kit soon so that it's here in time, and I've got something that'll make that a little more enticing even, or you can purchase a kit that I have on hand, but I don't have very many. So if you can choose your own or that, and we get together, we chat, we have some coffee or tea or cold drinks, and we just do our kit this together, and it's just a really fun, relaxing time. So if you want to be part of that, number one, register, please. And number two, order your kit. It could be a paper pumpkin kit. It can be another kit. Just go to the kit section on my website, and you will be good to go there. And I said there's something coming up starting on the 10th, which is Wednesday, and from the 10th to the 12th only, Stampin' Up! Is offering free shipping on orders of $100 or more. So, for example, get a couple of kits and maybe some adhesives and some other things that you need, or maybe you need some white cardstock, basic white, or something like that. Or maybe you can't quite reach $100, but you have a friend who has a bit of an order too. Combine your orders and to get $100 in free shipping. And there you have it. So there, you heard it here. They just announced it this afternoon, so it's December 10th to 12th only. It's free shipping. So maybe stock up on some kits there. And if you're still doing some Christmas shopping and you don't quite know what to get the crafter in your life, you can always contact me for a gift certificate, and then they can get what they want. So contact me about that and you will be good to go. Alrighty, so what we've been talking about a little bit is the product of the month. The product of the month is a new program that Stampin' Up! Is doing, and each month they will have a product that is the product of the month, and this month it is the True Blue Florals. It's this gorgeous designer paper. It is not terribly flowery. This is flowery, but a lot of it you could use for guys if you wanted. There's some generic stuff in there. So this is actually worth over $20, and you would be able to earn the opportunity to purchase it for $5. It's exclusive only to those who earn it. No one else can get it. Demonstrators can't go out and buy a bunch or anything. We have to earn it just like you. It is really neat. And so what Stampin' Up! Did is they had some demonstrators do some samples so that we could have a look at some ideas. So I shared earlier today, I shared a few samples, not all of them. So I shared these samples here using that paper. And then I wanted to show you how this card was made. We're going to do something different in the middle, but how did they get that folded back paper thing? I took one look at it and I thought, oh, I'm not going to worry about that one. And then Stampin' Up! Had the person who made it do a demonstration, and it was really easy. So I thought, I've got to show you. So you can use any 6x6 piece of designer paper. I am going to be using this paper here, 6x6. I just looked through to see what I had extras of. And this is from the Elegant Snowflakes designer paper. You've seen me use it before. I actually quite like it. So on one side, you see these designs. I don't have full sheets left. I've been using it quite a bit. So you've got these designs here. And then if you flip it over, then you have, let me just, these designs on this side. So it's all super, it's a super paper, but you can do this with whatever paper you want. And so the coordinating cardstock is this here. So I held it up, and I kind of like this color with it. It's the shaded spruce. So that's how tonight's project came together. So make sure you're saying hi and dropping a little note and comment in the comment section. So here we have the shaded spruce, and this is 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2. So it's scored in half. We're just making a regular half sheet of cardstock, turning it into a card. So we'll just burnish that fold like that, and we've got that. We'll put that to the side. We're going to use this in a minute. There's just one little technique I wanted to share with you, and it needs to dry. So I'm going to share that with you first. But just before I do, if you weren't here last week, we learned how to make these really neat trees out of scraps of paper. And then I also showed you this ornament that's hanging on a gift bag. So if you missed that, go back and look at last week's video, just as a little aside there. So I'm going to bring in a piece of basic white cardstock. This is bigger than what I need, but just want it that way. So I think this is half a sheet, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, might be a little bigger. It's whatever I brought in. This is going to be a bit messy, so I brought in some scrap paper. And now I'm going to bring in my block. So this is a larger block because I'm going to be stamping the whole block down on the paper. And then I'm also going to bring in my Stampin' Spritzer filled with water. So I've just put water in here. So our spritzers, you get 2 in a package, and sometimes I put rubbing alcohol in them. Sometimes water, depends what I'm using it for. So let's clear a little bit off because I really do make a mess when I do this. So what we're going to do is bring in our shaded spruce pad, and we're going to take that pad and put it right down on the block. Looks like I need to re-ink it. I thought it was good enough. But anyway, there. You can see I've got some definite shaded spruce going on there. It looks like a big mess. And now I'm going to bring in my spritzer, and I'm going to spritz that, and it tends to splash a bit. I've got my chamois here if I need to clean some stuff up. There, that looks pretty good. Look at my hand. I spritzed my hand too, and I spritzed that. That's all good. Then we put it down, lift it up, and it's messy. That's okay. And we just are going to dribble off the edges here like that. And now I'm going to bring in my chamois and clean my hands before I touch anything else. When I did the sample yesterday in preparation for this class, I guess I didn't spray it quite as much, and I didn't get quite the mess that I'm getting today, but that's okay. Every time you do it, it turns out differently. And I'll show you what I did yesterday in a bit. So then I just used my chamois to clean this off. Afterwards, I will run it under the tap, and I'll run my hands under the tap too. So there we go. So some of you are wondering that your chamois isn't this size. This is a half chamois. So I cut them in half so I can spread them around during a class. Then I'm just going to set that aside to dry, and we're going to use that in a little bit. You could dry it with your heat tool, but I think I'm just going to let it air dry. There, we've got that cleaned up. And now we're going to bring in our 6x6 designer paper, and we're going to do a little cutting. So what we're going to do is cut it this way. We're going to cut 3/4 of an inch off one of the sides to begin with, and then we're going to cut it at 2 1/2, and well, what would be 4 1/2, but we're going to cut these two in equal pieces, 1 3/4 across. So let's bring this in. So we're going to cut it off 3/4 off the bottom, and when we make this card, we are actually going to use every single bit. So we're going to put that to the side for right now. And now we're going to put the 6-inch side at the top. So we're cutting along the 6-inch side, and we're going to cut at 2 1/2. And then we're going to cut at 1 3/4. And what you have left is 1 3/4. So we've got those 3 pieces. So this one's going to go on the inside, and it's going to go on my basic white. I'm going to run it down the side. So I need it to be 4 1/8. And then we're going to hang on to this, and we'll use that as well. So we'll keep those 2 pieces over here. We've got our cutting done. So we have 2 pieces, and I made them the same size. You don't need to. You can make your inside smaller, but I just find it easier, especially if I'm doing a class, if I keep them the same, and then everybody is able to just be successful finding the right piece. So these are 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So they are a little bit bigger than we normally put on here, and that's because they're going to be holding these papers here. All right, so we'll put that to the side, bring this one in, and this is what's going to happen here. We are going to take one of these pieces and put it in the center, and I'm going to use this because then I will have the contrast on the outside. Otherwise, I think it would. And then these are going to go here and here, but we're going to do something with them first. So let's put this one down. That'll be done. So you do have to have designer paper that you like how the 2 sides look together, but most of Stampin' Up's paper does that beautifully. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the center and leave just a skinny little border top and bottom. Like that. So just a hint there, like that. Then we're going to bring these in, and what we're going to do, and I found it easier to do a little bit of softening. We're going to be rolling this back. So I just put the paper between my finger and my bone folder and softened that paper a little bit, top and bottom on the one side. So now I've got it kind of curled. And I'm going to do the same on this one. And this is called pinched paper because it looks like you've pinched the paper, but you haven't. And we're just going to eyeball it and fold it down. And every time it's different for me. And sometimes it tears here. I don't worry about that because it's going to be covered over. So it's folded down there, and then we're going to do the same at the bottom. And we're going to try to make it about the same. It's not a big deal. So now it's looking like that. No precision needed. Just maybe give it a bit of a boost over. Help it curl a little bit. Like that. Now, have any of you made this before? They call it the pinched paper technique. This is new to me, but some people I know have made it before. So I'm just wondering if this is new to you. So this is what we're going to now put adhesive on the back, and it's going to go here, and again, keeping that tiny border. And then we're going to do the same on this side. And then we've created that look where it looks like it's opening up. So let's put our adhesive on. For some reason, I'm not seeing messages. I'm just going to see if oh, I bet I didn't click the right button. Well, you loved the trees, Maggie? Oh, I'm so glad. They worked out well. And I saw Marilyn did a neat tree thing this week too. So we're all been in trees, and her Thursday night one. So I guess it wasn't this week. It was towards the end of last week. So I'm just making sure that my papers line up. so that it's like that and it's stuck down. And it's your choice if you glue this down. I chose not to. Just added a little more dimension, but you could use your bone folder and squish it right down and make it nice and flat if you wanted. Now we're going to put this here, and you notice I'm just flipping it around because there's no top or bottom just yet. It is much easier if you use paper that's not directional. There, we've got it like that. So this is the front panel of our card. Now you can use it going up and down, or you can use it this way, so landscape or portrait. So tonight I am going to do landscape, but I have some portrait ones to show you. And when you saw that one that I showed you on my iPad, it was going up and down as well, so you get to see the picture. So now we're going to put this on here. I'm not going to use dimensionals because with those folded over flaps, there's enough dimension going on there. And then I'm going to put the focal point on dimensionals as well. So that'll be good. Now we have a narrow border. It just made it easier for cutting the designer paper to go with these narrow borders. But isn't it looking neat already? Now we just need something to go for our greeting and for the focal point. So I decided to use the branching out dies. These are a favorite of mine. I love this, and I love the branches and everything else. So I used the smallest one to cut out my label. Now normally I layer my labels, but I decided not to on this one. And we've got that, and I had something here. Here it is. And I remember if you saw my video when I did my branching out one, I took a window sheet and used the die and cut out the shape so I would have a stencil. The only reason this tape is here is so I don't lose it. It helps me find it on my desk. So I'm going to bring this stencil in, and I just want some soft branches in the background before I do stamp my greeting. So I'm going to bring in my blending brush, and you can do this with any of your dies, especially if they give a good outline, is you can create your own stencil. So let me just, I'm going to turn it because, well, I'm already green, but anyway, talk about a green thumb. I've got green hands, don't I? I'm going to hang on at this end, tap it off on my window sheet a bit, and then just lightly blend. And I can always add more, but I can't take off. So once that ink is down, it's down to stay. And there we have it. We have just that nice soft look in the background. And I would clean this off by either using my chamois or running it under the tap. So I'll put it in my to run under the tap pile over there. And then we're going to bring in the word hello. So the word hello comes from the branching out stamp set. It's right here. This is on the last chance list. Did you know the last chance list was updated this last week? And this stamp set is now, instead of $33, it's $29.70. And once it's gone, it's going to be gone. So a lot of you love this set, and you also love the dies. As far as I know, the dies are still going to be around, but the stamp set isn't, but I am not totally sure on that. So do check that out, and I know that it's been flying off the shelves, so don't be caught unawares and be sad. So I'm just inking up with Shaded Spruce and stamping hello. I figured this is a good one. I can say thinking of you on the inside. I can say happy birthday. I can say happy retirement. I can do whatever. So now we've got that like that, and that's going to go there, but it needs a little something, right? So what I would do is I would take my dies, and I would take this one here, and this one here. And I would take that sheet that I now have sort of variegated colors that we just made, and I would put it on and die cut them out. Now this is still damp, so I did do one yesterday, and you can see I didn't get it quite as wet. So that's why I got aggressive with the water today, because I had these areas that weren't so wet. So this was much lighter because I hadn't sprayed it as much. So that you can get just different looks. So when you run it through, you can then pick up whatever you want and get those colors. And I've already done that. So let's just bring in the ones that I did. Here they are right here. Don't they look neat? And because I was a little less generous with the ink and water yesterday, I got some different looks. So now we're just going to arrange these on here. That's maybe enough right there. Yeah, I kind of like that. So I'm going to put that to the side and bring my silicone mat in and build it on my mat, just in case I have a little accident. Put a little dab of glue here. Sometimes it's just easier to take it to the glue. There, and I love that sponging in the background. Need a little bit more. Somebody was telling me the other day the silicone mat is one of her favorite tools. She just loves it. She's so glad that I told her about it once upon a time. So there, we've got it like that. Now we just need, a little twig. Maybe we should put it on our card first. Not a little twig, a little twine is what I was going to say. So now it is going to sit on here. Now this pushes things up pretty high. So I'm just going to put dimensionals down the middle. I found that seemed to work pretty well. Now, if I had wanted to, I could have had it going like this too, but I decided I wanted the horizontal, and I could have spattered that, but I think I've made a big enough mess today. Don't need any more spatters. And there we have it like that. And then I think a little twine. And this is the Early Espresso Old Olive package of linen thread. That was an online exclusive earlier in the fall. And ooh, I like that. I tried linen thread and it looked good, and then I tried this and I went, ooh, I like this a lot. So we'll just use a glue dot to put that on. So I didn't notice, did anybody, is this a new technique to anybody, or have some of you made this technique before? Because I don't know about you, but I often end up with a chunk of designer paper that's 6 by 6. So this is a good way of using it. So there we have it like that. We just need a couple of embellishments, and we have these earthy matte dots that are new online exclusive items, and they seem to work pretty nicely. So let's just see. Ooh, I think I'm going to bring in the Early Espresso again. It just kind of ties it together. I like to use a color more than once if I can. So let's see. Oh, yeah, no. Where to put them? Okay, I'll put one there. And sure, we'll just put it there. You get the idea. And there you have it. There is a pinched card, pinched paper card. So I think that is really cute. Now for the inside, I took my stencil and did this as well. And we haven't used the other pieces of the paper. So this is very narrow. So what this can do is we're going to put this right along here like that. So let's do that, because I promised that we would use it all. And we're going to So we'll just put that, you can either put it right next to the edge or leave a little border. And I'm going to let that dry. It just needs a little bit of a trim. So I'll come back in a minute. And then this, I'm going to put it on the back. And then I can put my initials, and they know it was made by me. I also like to use the Stampin' Up! Logo stamp. Stampin' Up! Has this logo in different stamp sets. This is from an old stamp set, but they've got one, I forget the name of it, in the catalog, in the annual catalog. And if you use this, you are free to sell your creations because you've given Stampin' Up! The credit. You've got the copyright on there. So not all companies are like that. So there we have it. There it is. I'm just going to trim this down because it's sticking over the edge. Just a smidge. Bring my garbage tray in. So it looks like this is new to a lot of you. I really like it. In fact, I've been on a roll. I've made a few of these. So there we've got that on the inside and this on the outside. So this is the landscape version. I'm going to move these so I don't send them flying. My very first one that I made, I was inspired by the one that I showed you on the website, but I used the Lights of Aurora because I don't have the Hues, the product of the month yet. So this is the Lights of Aurora. So we've got our northern lights here and then the purple on the inside. And is anybody curious how I got this? That I created using the Swirled Design dies. So I used this and I cut it in half and put half peeking out each side like that. So, by the way, I am absolutely loving the new packaging. I can hardly wait till all of my things are in the new packaging, which will be a few years, but I can hardly wait. So there we've got a totally different look. And then this one is in the portrait or the up and down. And then I thought, this one, I made this one first, and then I thought, well, what about something that's softer? And so I went with the Gallery Blooms. And I used a circle for the focal point here, square here, the branching out dies here. So obviously anything works. I tucked a few leaves in here, and the Thinking of You is from Sentimental Framing, which is a fabulous stamp set for thinking of you and wishing, just letting people know. From laughs to tears, I'm happy we've shared them together. I'm so grateful. Just all those kind of things. And this is also on the last chance list. And it was a $33 set, and it's now $26.40. So take a good look at the last chance list. I'm just saying that's an important thing to do. So 3 totally different looks, all of them done using the same technique, same measurements, just different focal points. So I'm excited to have you try it and let me know how it goes. I'd love to see pictures. So I just also want to share some things going on. We've been doing Christmas cards. It seems like forever about this time of the year, and then all of a sudden you need birthday cards, anniversary cards, sympathy cards, that kind of thing. So it was fun to do this, and I'm just going to share a few things I've got in the mail. Well, one is something I've made. I have a grandson who has a birthday New Year's Eve. So I decided to use the Party Alphabet dies. Yes, I caved. I just got them. I love them. I'm so glad I did. So I made a shaker card with his initial, and then I just took the Turtley cute designer paper, cut the balloon out of there. The because is from that new set, new set called, I should know this, Words of Beauty. That's an online exclusive. and threw in some twine and some stars, and there we have it. Just a fun one like that. And then the W I cut out, I put on the inside, and I just cut out another cake too, because I only have the designer paper. I don't have the stamp sets with the turtles, so I used the designer paper. So there is a fun shaker card, and then I did the envelope too, so that he knows it's not a Christmas card. There we have that. And then I received some of these cards in the mail, so I just want to share it. This one here is using the pear set that I don't have, and I just might have to get. And this is from my downline Marg, and look at how it slides out like that. So if you're seeing something here you want to learn how to make, let me know in the comments. So there's that one. And then I received this beautiful Christmas card from Irene. That one, and this beautiful Christmas card from Laura. She used that embossing folder from last year that I just loved. And then Kim sent me this card congratulating me. Let's go this way. No, this way. There we go. Congratulating me on my achievements in the past year. So Kim, thank you so much. That was so thoughtful of you. And she used this neat ribbon, which I don't have. Look at how it's kind of braided. Love that. And then Judy sent this. So she has put down squares, and then she's used strips of specialty paper to frame it all. And it looks really good. And she used the same paper I used tonight, but different sheets. So look how different they look. Totally different looks. Just, it's amazing what you can do. And then I received this one from Carolyn. So those Northern Lights again, and these dies. It's just stunning. I love this bundle, a suite of products. So hopefully that's some inspiration, and you've had a good time just hanging out together tonight. And I'm hoping you try one of these pinched paper cards. I think you're going to love it. You don't have to measure other than the cutting, no measuring. It's all good to go. So thank you, everybody. Remember, the Paper Pumpkin sale is ending. Tomorrow is the last day, so make sure you've signed up for that if that interests you. And if you have any questions or want to know where you can get any of these products, just reach out. I'll help you out. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye.